Welcome to episode 35, the Landlady Boss podcast. I'm here with my sister and co-host Rachel, and also with Eric Valle. He is a special guest that is coming on today. We're so happy to have him. Hello, Eric. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for coming. It's going to
Thank
be
you.
a really interesting topic today. We're talking about international purchasing of rental properties. And Eric is a realtor that's been in the business here in Nicaragua, where I am currently, for 10 years. And he has his own brokerage and business, and he does property management too. So he has a lot of experience and a lot of
hmm
information on the whole process. Because I do think one thing I get asked typically now that I have a property in Nicaragua is, how did you buy it? Can foreigners own property, or what's the process? So I thought, how fun if we could have Eric come on, who helped me purchase my property actually, and kind of walk us through that process. So thank you so much for coming and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think a lot of people have heard of Nicaragua, but maybe they don't realize just how amazing it is. Of course, I love it here. I've come for many, many winters. But what do you think is making Nicaragua attractive to foreign buyers?
What I think is about the beauty of this country, affordable prices, and also many tourists, when they come, they feel safer here than any other countries.
Mm.
So it's also a safe place to live. You can walk everywhere here in Granada. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very attractive.
Mm.
People feel something different when they arrive to Nicaragua. So
Exactly. I
think
think
that,
that's why I
yeah.
keep coming back for sure. Just
hmm
it's so beautiful climate, and the people are so friendly, and the architecture is beautiful, and there's just so many different, there's the beach and the cities and the mountains, and so there's a lot of variety.
Many places where you can go to visit and enjoy it. Granada
Exactly.
is the colonial city of Nicaragua. There is León, but Granada is closer to Managua, and that is
hmm
more makes Granada more attractive than any other city.
Yes, and Granada's a
Yeah.
little cooler than Leon too, I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
say.
that is true. Yeah.
So, Eric, what percentage would you say of the people that purchase in your clientele are foreigners, are people that are not native Nicaraguans?
To be honest, all of my clients are foreigners.
Are they?
Wow.
It's real. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I don't really work with locals.
oh,
Only
really?
foreigners come to my business. Yeah.
Why is that?
And I don't know, but that's the way it is. I don't know. But I think uh, we locals are not very good educated in the real estate,
Mm.
and they go by themselves. And sometimes they made a mistake going by themselves because maybe they don't know what documents to ask. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a lack of education with the locals.
Maybe they're
So
used to kind of doing it on their own, you're saying, so
yeah,
they would
yeah,
possibly go
exactly. Yeah.
to someone they know, or hey, are you selling this? And they would handle the transaction on their own.
And there's something like they think they're gonna pay more if they go to a real estate office,
Mm.
but at the same
Okay.
time, they don't know they are protecting, looking for a real estate office, but they are thinking they are
Okay.
paying more.
Do you mainly
Interesting.
sell properties from Granada? Do you and help people purchase properties? Is it mainly that one city?
Granada area, Laguna de Apoyo, Mombacho area.
Mm.
I think Granada.
Mainly.
And
Predominantly Granada and
yeah,
surrounding areas.
if I have a client looking for properties in Managua or San Juan del Sur, so I can look for my college
Mm-hmm.
and I can ask about the type of property my clients are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So then we
hmm
make connection. That's the way I work. If I have a client looking for some property out of Granada.
Mm.
You have colleagues that you can pass them
Yeah,
on to.
exactly.
Oh,
Do,
perfect.
do you have a multi-listing service like we have in the US where properties are listed
No,
online? Okay, so
no. That doesn't exist.
Would that be the biggest difference, probably, in that each brokerage, they kind of have their own website, and you go to their websites to look at
Mm-hmm.
properties that they're representing? It's not like a combined
Yeah,
platform.
exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
what we can do here, what we do here is we share the listing. If I see something I like in another website, Realtor, I contact them and say, can you share it with me? And then we split the commission, and the same work for each party. So we share listing and we share the commission.
Nice.
And that's what happened with the property you bought.
Yeah, it was a different listing, right? With a different realtor.
It wasn't on my website, but that I was thinking, because we were doing a tour, showing properties, and then I passed by the house that she bought, and I told her that one is for sale. So I contacted the other agent and I showed the property, and then that's it.
Maybe we should give a little rundown. So last year, I just, just to peek, right? I was just going to look and see what was available just for fun. Famous last words, right?
Yeah.
And so I contacted Eric and he just was showing me around to some different properties. And then I believe I asked you, are there any properties that need renovated or that are like run down that kind of have some land with them? And so you pointed out this property that is near the city center, but it needed a lot of work, but it also had like an open land in the back, which is hard to find in the city. And so, you reached out to the other realtor. I was able to tour it. And of course, because I am who I am, I wanted a project. And so I'm in the middle of the project.
Because you were looking for another property, but you wanted to have some land to grow plants, right? So,
yes, we want some fruits trees and be able to grow things. So that's what we have now, a big backyard to do that with someday.
Nice. So what was the process? So let's take it from you found the property you liked. Then how did you purchase?
Well, basically we present the offer. When offer is accepted, I prepare a contract, and that contract shows the terms, condition, and the time for the closing. And that contract is signed by the buyer and by the seller. And then the buyer had to put a deposit, and we take the property off the market, and then we wait for the documents for the closing.
I could actually own it myself. I think a lot of countries, foreigners maybe can't own property, but in Nicaragua, a foreigner can own property in their own name, correct?
Yeah, exactly. You can own. Yeah, no problem at all. Actually, you have the same rights as a local. So same process, the same rights, same protection. Yeah, no, not any difference. If a local buy a property, that's not any difference.
Interesting.
Wow, that's what was really nice about buying here. So the house is in my name. I didn't have to form a business here or go through a local or anything like sometimes you have to do with foreign purchases. So it's in my name.
You can purchase a property, but you cannot purchase a vehicle. You can buy it, but it has to be in the name of a local.
What?
So that's the way it works.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right. So it's easier to buy a house than it is to buy a vehicle.
Yeah.
So do you bring a notary to your business transactions, or do you do it in a title company?
Yeah.
Like, who collects the money and who?
Not title company. No. We have to use a lawyer.
And who holds the escrow? Who holds the money as it's being exchanged, the earnest money and everything like that?
Our office.
Nice.
My office hold the deposit.
Yeah, so I wired earnest money to Eric's office, and they held that for me until closing.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice. And what is a traditional range of commission for a transaction for both realtors combined?
Sometimes 6%, sometimes 5%, depending on the offer or the real estate company.
So it's very similar to the U.S. Realtors fees.
Interesting. And then tell us a little.
What's the timeline from how long does it typically take to complete a transaction when people are looking at real estate here?
About 3 weeks, 1 month.
Oh, wow. That's very quick.
Yeah.
Ours took a little longer because we kept having to deal with
we had to some kind of with a survey. We had to arrange the size of the lot, because before there are more regulation now than it used to be before. So before that we didn't have a cedula, and people inscribe the property or register the property without a cellular number, or even they didn't use a survey of the property. So there are more changes, and sometimes for good.
Yeah, so we had to adjust because our back property goes up to a creek, the surveyors had to come from the city and they had to readjust that because now there's guidelines that you can't own the property within so close to the creek, and so we had to have a setback. So that took a little bit longer than typically I would assume, just because we had to redo those lines.
And then register the property in your name. That's about probably 2 months, something like that. Yeah. So
After the closing?
After the closing, yeah, to register the property. Yeah, in the buyer's name, it's about 2 months.
Okay. And can the buyer inhabit the property after closing before it's registered?
Yeah. As soon as you sign the purchase legal agreement, you own the property and you can do whatever you want.
Nice. Do most of your buyers rent them as short-term rentals or long-term rentals, or live in them?
I think they use it for rental purpose.
Like they visit sometimes, but they also rent them out as vacation rentals.
Yeah. And they come for a visit, and we manage the property for them. That's the way it works.
I'm actually in a rental right now that Eric, his company, manages.
Really?
So he has properties that you can rent if you need to, or if you bought them, then his company can manage them for you. It's yes, one-stop shopping.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And you typically post on Airbnb, is that what you were saying?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, we do Airbnb.
Nice. That was wonderful.
Are there any sort of legal protections available? You said that foreign investors have the same protections as native buyers.
The only protection is your legal document, your title. That's the protection you have. That's what it shows that you are the current owner of the property. Okay. And you are registered in the public register. So that is the document that protects you that you own the property.
Right. Have you heard of any time where the government has taken property back from foreigners? I know that there's some countries that they're wary of that. Has that ever happened in any transactions that you know where people have lost their asset because they're foreigners? Yes.
That I know? No, I don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't heard that happening.
Yeah.
Good.
I think they're very welcoming foreign investors. I think that they encourage that, in my experience.
Does purchasing property in Nicaragua give you a step into getting residency or anything like that, a permanent residency?
It helps you a little bit, but right now there are some changes, new changes. Right now, you can apply for residence, but you only have permit for 2 years. After 2 years, you have to you can get a full residence.
And that's just by owning a property there, you're eligible to qualify for that?
To purchase a property in Nicaragua will help you. Yeah, there are some other ways, but
right. I think
I don't remember.
Business, and I think if you have so much in assets and stuff.
If you are retired too, I think that helps you.
So having a property in the foreign country helps you be able to establish residency, but it's just for a 2-year window.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is one of the craziest transactions you've had with real estate? Can you think of a story that something
crazy,
like the toughest? How about the hardest transaction you've ever had with a foreigner?
I don't know. I have so many properties, but I don't remember. What I can tell you is something that is very funny. If you sell a property for $300,000, let's say the commission will be $15,000, and you sell a property for $20,000, that will be, I think, how much? $1,000 commission. And sometimes you work harder for the smallest commission than when you work for the biggest commission. So that is kind of funny for me because the same work, but you pay less. But the payment is less.
I had the same thing happen to me. My first day as a realtor, I got under contract a $4.9 million building, like a student complex, the first day. But
Okay.
I've spent 3 years with one young couple trying to buy their first home, and it started at 300,000, went to 250. Now we're at 180,000 cap, and I've shown them so many homes. And I am with you. It just doesn't even make sense,
Yeah.
the amount of work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, for years.
And
Wow.
Yeah.
something funny in the real estate is sometimes either the seller or the buyer doesn't have in the transaction, you know.
Yes.
And sometimes the buyer's attorney is a little bit picky, and it makes us to work harder, you know.
Mm.
So, but at the end, we finalize everything and everybody's happy.
Yeah. Makes it a smooth process, hopefully.
Do you have a recording office in the city that would record your deed and your title? And so it's a public entity that holds those titles too?
No.
No. Okay, so it's different that way too.
No. Yeah.
Where do you end up registering the title? Just with the city office?
In the city office, yeah. That will be in charge of the buyer's attorney.
Mm.
Oh, okay. And then how does that
Yeah.
work with property taxes?
Well, normally the property that I manage, there are taxes that you pay to the city hall. Once a year, you pay taxes. And actually, I take the bills that I paid last year, I take it to the city hall, and they bring me a new sheet and the new price for the taxes. I contact the owner,
Mhm.
and he send me the money, and then I go to
And then
pay.
you do it.
Yeah.
Are taxes fairly high here, or what would you
No,
consider
no high.
average?
I have sold property for $100,000-$200,000, and maybe they pay around $300 per year. That's
Oh,
cheap.
yeah, so not very
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, that's not very high.
And do foreigners need a Nicaraguan bank account, or they can just wire from their U.S. accounts, or how does that work
Yeah.
with the money?
Yeah. You can open a bank account, local bank account here,
Mm.
but you don't need it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You can just wire
to,
from the
yeah,
U.S.
you can wire, from US.
Okay. Yeah, in my experience, it was
It-
pretty straightforward. I was able to wire to his office, and then the owner of the property I bought was actually an American, so then I wired the rest of the money to his account.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. How did you find Eric, Marie?
How
It
did
was
I
funny,
find
remember?
you?
She didn't find me. I was using the same shirt, and we were at Pitaya. That was a juice maker
The
store.
shake shop. We were in the
Yeah.
same shake shop.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah. And because I was wearing this shirt, just because of that. And she said, "Hey, I went to your office." Oh, really? No one told me that you went to my office. Yeah, I want to look for some property. Okay. So I took her number, and we set up a meeting for the next day.
Oh my
That was the
goodness.
way.
Well, of course, I had been eyeing things, and his office was actually near the rental that I had rented last
Mhm.
year.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I kept walking by his office, and then I said, I'm just going to stop in and just see, what listings they have. I'm just curious. My husband knows me by now that that's dangerous, but I'm just going to check. And then, yeah, I think I left a message or just said I stopped by, and then I saw him in the shake shop, which anyone that knows me,
Yeah.
they know I love my protein shakes after working out.
Yeah,
So they have a really great shake shop here. So when I saw you, I had to seize the moment.
Yeah. I saw a woman that she was looking at me, and then she said, "Hey, I went to your office." Oh, really?
Right. Yep. You know me,
Goodness,
never
that's so-
waste an opportunity.
And I said,
Right.
"Hey, I'm unlucky that I'm unlucky
So
that I use the
lucky.
shirt, but I don't wear it every day."
Well, it worked
So
out.
lucky. It's
Yeah.
good. Are there properties that are on the beach or waterfront properties?
There are regulations for beach property.
Mhm.
Basically, you cannot own it; you lease it.
Oh,
So,
any properties on the coast you can't own, you have to lease them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
How?
and that's a 1 year contract. 1 year contract lease.
Oh.
And they lease you the land, but the improvement are your house. So
Wow.
That-
So foreign investors, that would be probably a big risk or something they would
Well,
need to be aware of if they were coming
yeah,
in
they
to
have to be aware,
purchase?
but people buy it. They know, they understand, and every year they renew the contract every year.
And
Every
is the
year they had
contract with the government?
with the city hall.
Okay.
Yeah, every year they had to pay for the 1 year lease.
On top of taxes. So they have taxes and then they have a beachfront
Yeah.
tax,
Mm-hmm.
essentially a lease. Okay. Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
anyone losing their lease so they had to move their house?
No. I never heard.
Okay, good.
So it's not very risky. Are there any other risks that you can think of that foreign investors should maybe consider?
Well, the only risk I can tell you is find a good real estate agent, a licensed real estate agent, because there are many independent real estate agents. They don't have an office. They only they say because they know properties and people know them.
Mhm.
They are not legal agents, you know.
Mhm.
So they only present or introduce the property, but they don't help in the
Position.
collect the documents.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So he only
Wow.
introduced the property and will be your shore to work with the seller.
Mm.
So
But you do the maintenance. Do you find that the properties that you manage have problems with termites, cockroaches, any of the warmer sort of insects that we do not have in our cold climates?
mhm.
Do you have problems with that?
Yeah, not a big problem, but sometimes there are some.
Mhm.
Actually, most of the houses here in Granada are open, and so you're gonna have insects from coming from another house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But normally we have people that make fumigation, and that we have.
Yeah, they have fumigators in the city that you hear them when they're coming by, and they can come in, and I think the city provides it, but they can
Yeah, the city.
fumigate and spray for any sort of pests.
Yeah, the city provides that, but that is for the mosquito, dengue.
Mhm.
They're the one that spread
Yeah.
all over the population.
Would you say most of the properties that you sell have a pool as part of them in the courtyard area?
The pool is very attractive for the tourists
Mhm.
because Granada sometimes get hot, so you need something where you can relax,
Mhm.
Is
So
that probably the biggest amenity people ask for?
yeah, exactly. That is one of the most.
A pool. The
Yeah,
first
the
year I
pool.
came here with my kids in 2015, I think it was, we did not have a pool, and so we would go to different hotels after they were done with school and try to find places for them to cool off. But then
Yeah,
after that, we always had a pool because it does get
yeah,
hot.
correct. Yeah, and of course you need a bathroom with AC,
Yes.
Wi-Fi, always Wi-Fi.
Always.
Yeah,
Do you have furnaces?
yeah.
I mean, do you ever need to have a furnace? So is it just mini split for air conditioning and that's it?
Like heat?
Mhm.
Yeah, I have never seen heat. Have you, Eric? Ever seen any houses with heat here?
Any houses?
Any
Excuse
houses
me?
that have heat? Like heaters? I haven't seen that.
No.
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 We don't need them.
So air
It's
conditioners
plenty
though?
warm.
The mini splits? Is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Mini split air conditioner. Yeah, in the
Wow.
bedrooms.
Could you imagine? Oh my goodness. I mean, a lot of our listeners are sitting in the coldest winter that they've had ever. And you're talking about how your properties do not have heaters. They couldn't even imagine.
No.
It's so warm and
No.
awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Only a water heater.
Mhm.
Only water heater.
Right. Yeah, you still want a hot shower
Yeah.
sometimes.
Definitely.
But sometimes
Do you,
when there are no water heater in the house and people ask for water heater and say, well, this is a really hot climate. You don't need a hot water shower,
You want cold water. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I know I usually want a cold shower, but to each their own.
So our
That's so funny.
houses now are it's getting pretty normal to have dishwashers. Is that a normal feature in your houses or no?
No.
I've
Mhm.
never stayed in one that had a dishwasher, but usually
Yeah.
there's a washer and a dryer.
Or at least
Yeah,
just a
washer and
washer.
dryer, but not dishwasher.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
at least the washer, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will say electricity in Nicaragua is fairly costly. And so, I
Hmm.
know we have a dryer, but we try to use the clothesline as much as
Mhm.
possible just because electricity can really add
But
up.
the dryer that you are using in the house is through propane gas, so you don't need to worry about.
Oh, hey, I'm learning something here. Great, I'll
You
stop
didn't
using the
you
clothesline.
didn't you didn't know that?
I didn't know that, so I was
Oh,
trying
really?
to. I told the kids, don't use the dryer. I won't tell
Yeah.
them. They can still hang up their clothes.
I
People are selling their properties now, right now. Like, what's the market doing here? Are you finding people mostly looking to buy or a lot of people wanting to sell?
Right now. Not
Hmm.
many. Not many.
Not
Not
many
many look.
selling or not many
Not
buying?
many. Both. Both. Not
Oh,
many
it's
buying. Not
slower.
many selling. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a little
Okay.
bit slow. Yeah.
You had said last year was a
Yeah.
busy
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. It was last year. Last year was very busy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. I'm sure it just goes in waves, depending on
Correct. Yeah.
how the weather is, how the economy is, how politics are, it probably
Yeah.
fluctuates.
Exactly. Yeah. Correctly. Yeah.
Would you say most of your clients are from Canada or Europe or the US?
Canada, US.
So
Not
the
many
both,
from Europe.
not so many, because I do see
No.
quite a few tourists from Europe,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
maybe not looking to buy.
Yeah. No. No. They just come for vacation.
So when someone comes and then they buy the property and then they turn it over to your business to property manage, how does that work from a property manager perspective? Obviously, we're always looking into property management
Hmm.
services. So do you charge a percentage of the rent that is collected monthly,
Correct.
or how?
Mhm.
That's how it works?
Yeah, we have a management fees. That's about $115 per month,
Hmm.
and 10% for the rental commission.
Hmm.
So there's like a flat fee and then
Yeah,
a
yeah.
percentage on top of that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Interesting. Does the flat fee cover like maintenance, coming in and doing regular maintenance, or does it,
Oh,
or that's on top of that?
no,
Hmm.
it's $115. That's not very much. That doesn't include that. That doesn't include the cleaning service. Doesn't include the pool guy, maintenance, and chemicals. Uh, doesn't include none
Oh,
of
there
that.
we go. Okay, there we go.
Right. And when you do come and
Yeah,
rent a house here, usually cleaning services and pool are included in the rent
yeah,
that you pay.
exactly.
Because it is indoor outdoor living, the houses typically have a courtyard or a garden or something. So you
Hmm.
do get a lot of extra, I mean, it's beautiful. I love it, but you do get a lot of extra kind of dust in the air or things. So,
Yes,
someone does
yes.
come and they mop and kind of dust a lot because it can get dusty.
Also, to for the maintenance of the pool, you don't need to worry about it.
Hmm.
Right. It's pretty
So,
stress
so,
free.
That's
mhm,
nice. That's
yeah,
wonderful. That sounds like an amazing paradise to go stay at, especially during
yeah.
the winter.
You have never been here, Rachel? Never.
No, she hasn't. She needs to come visit me still.
I've never been. I live in Bulgaria, so Bulgaria is pretty far.
Kind of far.
Get a free
We
ticket
actually,
to Nicaragua.
I,
she needs to. I had one
I
of our
need to.
sisters visit us a couple weeks ago, and then I have another
Okay.
sister of ours visiting right now. So
Oh, so
she
lucky.
just hasn't yet. She needs to. I
Yeah,
know.
she's missing it.
I know.
She is. It's obviously a place I love to visit. I've been here
This is,
multiple times, and now am remodeling a house there. So
Hmm.
it's
yeah,
one I love.
we are famous, but we are known by the land of lakes and volcanoes.
Oh,
That
So,
is true.
that
Lots of
sounds
lakes, lots of
beautiful.
yeah,
volcanoes. It's a beautiful place. I would
it is a
encourage
beautiful,
you
yeah.
all, if you haven't considered coming to Nicaragua, consider it. It's very safe, very beautiful, very
Hmm.
affordable. It's just a wonderful
Hmm.
place. So, Eric, if some of our listeners are thinking, I want to look at property in Nicaragua, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, we have a website, uh, colonialvillas.com,
Okay,
and that's the way that they can find our listing.
perfect. I
Um,
can put the link to that in the show notes
and
for
also
sure.
some, if you only look for, you go through Google and look for colonial homes for sale, it shows
Hmm.
our website in the first page. So
Perfect.
that
So
is
that's how they
easy.
can contact
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I would encourage everyone to go to that site just to look at how gorgeous the colonial style homes are. They are just beautiful. They have wood columns and beautiful
Mhm.
tile patterned floor. So, well, thank you so much for your time, Eric. I so appreciate your expertise and sharing all of
Thank
your
you.
experience with us. It's a fairly straightforward place to invest if people are looking for different
Yes, it
countries to
is.
invest in, and I have been pleased with my experience thus far.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for your invitation.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, no
And
problem.
Rachel and Mary, my pleasure.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you. Thank you, Eric.
You have to come, Rachel, to Nicaragua, okay?
You've sold me.
She needs to. She's going to.
I
She's
need
going to
to.
come.
Yeah.
We're going to get her volcano boarding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a house next to Marie so we could be neighbors. Los
Oh,
vecinos.
there we
Okay.
go.
Mm-hmm.
That would be perfect. I would love that. Well, thank you so much. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe and share, and feel free to reach out to other landlady bosses that may enjoy the information that we are sharing. And remember, no one can manage your properties as well as you.